no timeouts.
Here.
Right now, if you're San Francisco, you're really playing to get in field goal range and spike it.
Stream should be live. Stream starting soon. Okay.
Now they have to run all the way down and clock it. If you're the San Francisco 49ers, you'd love to have George Kittle.
Plays like this that they'd love to have him. They'll go with the screen to Samuel, though. He's got blockers.
All right. You about ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's do it. Oh, on a nice Debo highlight, too. I love Debo.
Welcome to the ESFFL podcast.
In the stream, I love the intro, bro. It's so good.
Brings back so many years of memories. You know, we've been doing this for like 4 years, I guess, now, technically.
Is this 4 or 3?
Is it 3?
This is 3.
Yeah, I guess you're right. 3 years.
We did the first 2 seasons, all podcast, and now here we are.
Year 3.
Here
wow.
we are.
Dang. Look at us now.
Hey, wipe the crust out your eyes.
We're up early today. Man.
Well, we've got a question right now as soon as the episode starts. Are you ready?
Really?
David Montgomery and Jeff Wilson about to be activated from PUP just in time. Apparently not a question. Josh just wanted to tell me that Khalil Herbert is being rendered useless. So thanks, Josh.
Good to know. In case you forgot, yes, Montgomery is coming back, and I think it might be
Is he back this week, though? I don't think he's back this week.
No, it's going to take
Being
a little.
activated, I think he'll be back after the bye.
I'm not sure when he started. Yeah, okay, so they got to buy. Okay, I'd say after the bye, you could probably safely start him again, and that's scary, especially if we're talking about Josh's squad, because I don't know, man. Between Steven and him, it might be bad. Those are looking at the two
and I
top
think you're
dogs.
forgetting. You know, I'm not even going to get into it with you. I'm not even going to get into
Nope, I think I have that correct.
it. And so let's give a quick intro to the show. We've not done this in a while. Took a week off. I'm your host, Commissioner Zach. This is to my right is Owen, but we don't do that anymore.
I think
it's technically on the left of my screen.
Yes.
Owen?
Co-Commissioner Owen, Trey Area 5150s, doing just fine.
Still the Trey Area 5150s though, huh?
For now, the timetable for that is getting real close, man. It's getting tough to just watch that dude just sit on my roster forever.
Yeah, full ass mascot of your team and everything.
That's the only reason why he's still on the squad.
So we've got a hell of a week of news. We missed a week of the podcast. I don't even know what happened in between the last podcast and now's podcast, but NFL has gone completely haywire. We've had COVID breakouts. We've had players missing games, season-ending injuries. Obviously, the terrible news about Henry Ruggs. Really just no shortage of breaking news in the league this week. So excited to get the podcast going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the past week has just been all the news of the past season has been like compressed in this 1 week of football, and like I can't even keep up with everything that's happening right now. There's so much going on, so many like fantasy implications, everything that's like everyone's being affected at this point in time. Like nobody is safe this year, and I think that's kind of just been the trajectory of how things have been all season long. Like it has not been just normal fantasy. Like yes, injuries have had happen, but I feel like even last year with COVID and everything, the amount of injuries and COVID cases was nothing compared to what the hell's going on now. Like trades, COVID, injuries, death. I mean, like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it has been crazy. But all I know is that our league has continued to roll on.
Yes.
Being more and more interesting by the day.
Still very, very competitive.
Standings, rankings. Oh, every year, bro. Every year. And we're finally starting to get that little bell curve back. It was a little bit was a little bit non-bell curvy a bit in our standings, but now we're back to a nice even bell curve. You know, lets everybody know that we got a competitive league going on this year. And,
Definitely.
Through 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Through 8 weeks, the teams that are outside of playoffs right now are only one in. Jesus Christ! There's a cat,
Oh my God.
and he just unmuted the stream. Jeez.
What's up, Asher?
Teams that are outside of playoffs are only 1 and 2 games back from that final 6 seed. So, like anything is possible, even for Tavo's team in the lowly depths of 10th place.
Yikes.
3-game losing streak. He's still got a chance to make playoffs. Only 2 games back of Jared, yourself, and Zach. So everyone's still got a really good chance. And I know there's at least 2 teams that are a little bit down in the dumps emotionally, but there's still time, right?
Still time. Everything is possible. You really just, we were just talking about it earlier. Well, Jared was texting about it, but trade deadline is coming up here in a couple weeks. So there's a lot of moves that could still be made.
What is that? Week 11, I think, is our trade deadline, right?
Yep. So still a couple more weeks before trade deadline, and I still think there's a couple moves that can be made to salvage some team seasons, make or break some people's seasons, and of course the way things have been going, of course anything is possible and anything can happen at any given time. And now we're starting to.
Sorry, I want to
go ahead.
Interrupt you, but something to consider for these teams that are less than playoff teams, I guess we'll put it. It might be time to start doing some 2-for-1 trades. If you're looking at your team wondering, why aren't I getting wins? Maybe it's because you only have 1 or 2 good players, and that's not going to get you a fantasy win most weeks. So you'll have those splash performances where you can – Jesus, man. You'll have those splash performances you'll be able to get those victories, but in order to consistently win week in and week out, you're going to need perhaps a little bit more depth on your roster.
Yeah, I mean something's going to happen. Like you got to do something to save your season, because there's a lot at stake when it comes to getting into the toilet bowl this year, and I think it's going to be one of our more embarrassing punishments that we've had so far. I mean,
and I will ask you this real quick. Between the 2 punishments of belly button piercing and sexy maid outfit, which one would you prefer to do if you were the loser of the toilet bowl?
Man, the way I see it, like the belly button piercing, it's quick, fast, and easy. Like it's gonna hurt a little bit enough to where it's like, hey, you're gonna remember the pain and not want to do this again and be there in the same spot. And it's embarrassing enough to it's like, God damn it, like that's something I'm gonna hold on to forever. Like, oh yeah, I can say like I got my belly button pierced.
You have to wear it the full fucking off season. If we come to the draft and we check your belly button and it does not have a fucking jewel hanging from it, you're done. We're all hazing you right there.
I think that's excessive. I thought it was like a quick, hey, once it's done, you get a picture,
you
get a video.
Wear it for like 3 days? No.
Yeah. There's no way I'm walking around with the belly button piercing. No way.
Hey, you could take it out. You could take it out when you go to work. You don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught on some other dude's belly button piercing, obviously.
I think that's like you have to like let it heal, or you can just put it in, put it out, and then like after that.
No, we need the hole to stay. It cannot be a hole that heals with how quick you took it out. It has to stay.
Then it's no question I'm doing the maid outfit. There's no way I'm keeping in a belly button piercing.
For what, 6 months? You wouldn't wear a belly button piercing for 6 months? You're not even swimming.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. No way. That's not okay. Yeah, there's no way I was ever gonna do that. Not even.
All right. Well, I'll be honest with you. That's probably the one I would do if I was gonna lose.
There's no way you would keep it in a belly button piercing for that long.
Dude, do you understand what the maid outfit entails of though? It's not like, oh, you get to put it on over your jeans. Like there's gonna be some fishnet leggings, fucking skirt. It's gonna be embarrassing.
Yes. But it's for one day. It's it's half a day. And not 6 months. And then like all these implications, like how could I like look at anybody anybody without a shirt? If my shirt accidentally pulls up, there's no way I'm explaining that to family or friends.
I mean, yeah, there is. You say, well, I'm in this fantasy league. I'm the worst. And they made me get this embarrassing belly button piercing. And they'd say, and try to get good.
Gosh. Well, good thing it's something I'm probably not going to have to worry about this year, thankfully. Knock on wood.
And
Um,
it's kind of nice sitting here from a position year in and year out of deciding the punishment, not even being close to fucking sniffing it, you know?
yeah, yeah, man, it's bad. And you know what? I've been kind of looking into it, and there's a couple teams that I think are shoe-ins, and there's one team, maybe two, that I would say are almost guaranteed to make it happen at this point.
Name
'Cause
drop them.
I don't know how Tavo or Diego salvaged their season at this point.
It's Diego and Tavo. I knew it was. I knew it was.
I don't know how you salvage your season at this point.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Diego is in such a tough spot with Derrick Henry. Mahomes not even playing good.
that is
It's
like
just,
like I don't yeah, man, like I'm looking at the squad now, and he was talking all that shit earlier, like, and I'm trying to tell him, like, look, man, like you're not in that spot yet. You're like on verge to lose like 5 in a row, and then your squad has nothing to offer. Like
it's looking at him right now. Sorry, they've got a little to offer.
yeah.
But Owen, let's not waste any more time berating Diego and Tavo for their poor fantasy decisions. But let's instead hop into last week. Let's do a little recap on those matchups from week 8. You down?
Sure. Yeah, let's get that going. Who should we start
We'll
with?
start with mine since I'm gonna just kick it off. The Battle of the Zacks.
Yeah.
Battle of the Zacks again. You love to see it. This year, I don't remember the early projections. I want to say me and Zach were projected within maybe like 4 or 5 points, something like that.
Mhm.
It came down to Monday night, so close performance for sure. I was a little bit nervous looking at the rosters up and down here. We got I was gonna say Khalil Herbert, Justin Herbert versus Josh Allen. In the running back spots, I have Eckler and Darrell Williams. His running backs, Kamara and DeAndre Swift. The wide receivers on the Yeti side, we got Diggs and CD Lamb versus Cordell Patterson, the ultimate flex player, and Antonio Brown, AJ Brown.
It's early.
It's a little bit early. Tight end spot, we got Gesicki versus Henry, and the flexes, Damian Harris and DJ Moore versus Jerry Jeudy and Emmanuel Sanders. In this one, Owen, shouldn't have even been this close, man. I don't know if you were watching the Rams game in the morning, but they had 28 fantasy points by the end of the third quarter. Pulled all of their starters and dropped to 10.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So at the start of the fourth quarter, Owen, we left. Me and Sid were in a sports bar watching the game. We were like, this one's over. We'll go start doing our thing. Rams had the Texans to like 76 total yards. They ended with 320 the fourth quarter. So just fucking bleeding points for my defense there. I was a little bit nervous, especially after Josh Allen hit 32. We had A.J. Brown have 0 points through the first half, end with 30 himself. So I was feeling a little bit nervous getting these mid-range performances out of my guys. But this kind of goes back to what I was saying with some of the teams that are not getting wins consistently, is that they have a couple of splash performances, just like A.J. Brown getting 30, Josh Allen 32, but the rest of his team, it doesn't stack up to basically create like a good average.
Right.
And that's, I think, where I was able to get the victory this week. I didn't score incredibly high, only 130, but that's sometimes all you need when you get a team that has these splash performances like Zach's team, kind of up and down throughout the season. As we've seen, he's 4-4. The definition of up and down, if I'm not mistaken, as far as his win-loss week by week has gone. But overall, he had a pretty good week outside of getting fucking goosed by Emmanuel Sanders. Hunter Henry didn't do anything, and then just 1 point for the Buccaneers defense. So overall, it was a good performance out of both teams. I was able to pick up the victory this week, moved to 6-2, 3-game win streak. I think Zach was on a 2 or 3 game win streak as well.
Yep.
Kicked him back down.
Yeah.
So he will be 4-4 now, and moving in. And I'm gonna look at the place I'm in real quick. I'm in second. This will kick Zach down to 5th place. So still a playoff contender. But just had to collect that L this week.
Yeah, great. It was a great matchup. Could have gone like the way the Rams defense played and the way the Bucks defense ended up going, like it really could have swung either way. That goose egg from Emmanuel Sanders, I think, was the nail in the coffin at the end of the day. Because, man, you don't really expect that against Miami the way they've been playing. And
it's unfortunate because I know that pain. I started Emmanuel Sanders in my other league as well, and did not lose by very much. So just literally got goosed by a player that has been good all year long. It's just sometimes bad luck. I mean, not much you can do about those.
Yeah, no, it's something, he
Especially
played
when Allen gets 30, bro. That's tough.
That is tough.
Josh says, have we gone over mine yet? No, Josh, we've not.
Let's dive right into it then. Let's go into that next matchup with the Sanger Slide Dogs.
Next matchup up, we got the Sanger Slide Dogs versus the Green Bowl Packers. Owen, you want to run us down this one?
Yes, and another impressive victory by Josh against Hunter and the Green Bowl Packers. Again, the discount double check Rodgers, Aaron Jones. That duo is killing it right now. It's definitely beyond my expectations at the beginning of the year. Facing off against Matt Stafford and Elijah Mitchell with Hunter's squad. Beyond that, we have Darrell Henderson, Tyreek Hill going up against Leonard Fournette and Terry McLaurin. As well as for receivers, we have T. Higgins going up against Brandon Cooks. Dalton Schultz at the tight end position going against Travis Kelce, who had one of his toughest weeks so far. Adam Thielen and Randall Cobb in the flex for Josh going up against Michael Pittman and Carlos Sutton. And then we have Philadelphia defense against Chicago D. Philadelphia D, man, was lights out against Detroit, which I actually had Detroit winning that game. Did not expect them to go 44-6 and have all the starters out by the third quarter. So absolutely just destroyed Jared Goff and the boys in Detroit. But even more than that, just an impressive show out by, again, the dynamic duo in Green Bay. Tyreek Hill doing his thing. And then solid play by starting Randall Cobb in that Green Bay game against Arizona.
3 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Right?
I played against him as well in that other league, and I had to sit Devontae, so he picked him up just to spite me. It's just frustrating, man.
That is tough. That was, a very, very high IQ play by him, starting 3 Packers against the Arizona D Thursday night. So, impressive victory on that part. On the side of Hunter, not much he could have done there. 166 is a very high point threshold to try and achieve. Impressive play by...
I think, Owen, I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but again, we're looking at 2 teams, right? One, 5-3, obviously a contender in the league this year, versus a 3-5 team. And if you look at Josh's performances out of his entire team, it's consistent up and down. Nobody... he had some good performances, no crazy blow-ups. And then you see on Hunter's side, he's got 2 players who far outperformed everybody else pretty much, 2 or 3. And then everybody else is just low. So I think we're seeing the formula to winning fantasy matchups is not to have 2 players get you 30. It's to get 10 players get you 15, It can be that easy.
True. Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily it's the talent of Hunter's squad. It's just the consistency. Look at guys like Elijah Mitchell. That's a great game. That's probably one of the better games he's going to have. He is kind of on this high trajectory. But Fournette was a great pickup, but 6 points. That's a floor, I'd say, for him. McLaurin 5 points.
It's by far his worst performance in over a month for Leonard Fournette. So
yeah, tough outing. I think that Denver-Washington game really kind of set the tone for him. But Hunter doesn't have a bad squad by all means. I keep saying it. He has probably one of the unluckiest squads there is. One of the most unluckiest performances in the season I've ever seen. So I wouldn't be surprised.
What though, man? I really want to trade for Matt Stafford. I really want him.
Wow. What?
Those points, man.
Yeah, he is blowing it up in LA, man. The weapons he has compared to what it was in Detroit is just night and day. So I'm happy to see it. I wonder
if Hunter would do Justin Herbert straight up for him, since he can basically skip a bye week, and I would have to absorb one. I wonder if that would be worth it to him.
Wow. I wanting to figure out what you'd be willing to give up. I think you could work something like that out. No problem.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to like give up additional players, but if he's looking to, he's going to need wins essentially, and
It's true.
quarterbacks on the waiver wire are not up to par with the guys that you'd be able to trade for. So maybe that is something that I could talk to Hunter about. I don't know. Have to see.
I'd be willing to send that trade.
Josh just typed something stupid in the chat. Who has scored more points this year, Zach or Josh? Josh, you literally passed me this week. I don't need to hear it from you. Third place.
I think it's an 8-point difference. Yeah.
I was winning by like 30, and then he outscored me by like 30 this week. So.
Wow. Well, there he is. That's why he's in second place. Wow, he's third
I'm
place.
in second. Yeah. No, I beat him last week. So you're lucky we skipped that episode, Josh. We got to skip the Brother Bowl. It's fine.
Yes.
But I'll do a quick summary of that one real quick. I'm feeling like we have time. So final score in this absolute demolishing 143 to 125. Zach beats Josh. Back into week 8, Owen.
Oh, wow, nice little recap. All right, on to the next one. Let's go with Cooking with Dalvin.
Let's go with you.
Okay, let's do that one.
Yeah, run us down your matchup. You versus Tavo. This was a ass whoop.
I didn't really have to do too much. I think Tavo just straight up beat himself this week.
Tavo's embarrassing himself. Can I say it?
He's doing it again, man.
Himself in the league this year, man.
He's doing it again. Like I think
you're not even starting people.
Once he made that trade, I forget who it was for. I think it was Mahomes or something like that.
To trade away Mahomes, right?
Yeah, which I guess at the retrospect was kind of the smart thing to do, but I couldn't tell you who he got in return.
Well, he got Juju and Antonio Gibson.
Well, that's why he's also 2-6.
That's so bad, bro.
Yeah, that is a terrible trade. But here we are with his roster. Dak Prescott, who obviously did not play against Minnesota. Antonio Gibson, who had 7 points against Denver. James Conner, who actually performed quite well with 2 touchdowns in that Green Bay game. Mike Williams, who has been on the downtrend as of late with 3 points. Amari Cooper, who had that great game in Minnesota, the game winner, 22. Ricky Seals-Jones. Why not?
Oh, and did you see that in that Cowboys-Vikings game, CD was talking to Amari, trying to get him to give him the route so he could score the touchdown?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's CD.
They knew what was happening. He was like, Coop, can I get this one? He's like, nah.
I'm gonna do this one. This is gonna be me right here.
It's funny though, like they're both so confident in each other. Like, this is gonna be a touchdown. Let me get it.
Oh yeah, no. In the past was amazing. I'd never seen Cooper Rush throw the ball like that, and
be good, man.
Yeah, the nice little receiving core we got over there, and Michael Gallup coming back next. Finishing out Tavo's roster here, right? Chase Claypool with 8 points, and then the craziest thing that kind of spun everything out, like with all this news, is Calvin Ridley out for personal reasons. So no longer actively playing, I guess.
I was talking to Abe, right? I was talking to Abe the other night.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, did you hear about this Calvin Ridley stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess he's just too sad to play football." And it just made me laugh, bro. Like, to put it that way. Like, I'm too sad to go play football with my friends and make millions.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
It's
Mental
tough.
health is nothing to take lightly. But, bro, take a couple days off and then go continue to make millions playing football. I just don't entirely understand it. Like, you take a couple days, get your head right, get back out there.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. You at least don't start him in your fantasy league. That's as far as.
So back to Tavo embarrassing himself. 2 guys out.
Yeah.
You had plenty of notice. Like, his excuse, like, "Oh, Dak happened last second."
Right.
I picked up Cooper Rush in the other league that I'm in because I was facing off against Dak. So, like, if I can do it, I don't even have Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
You could have gone and picked up Cooper Rush, and you still would have lost. That's fine. But, like, you just put the effort out there, man. It's frustrating to see.
It is, especially the fact that he has like a couple open bench spots. I mean,
and he had the first pick in the draft.
Yes. How did we get here, Tavo? That's my only question. How did we get here? What went wrong?
Man, a lot has gone wrong.
As far as my side, we had a good game. Good squad. Good squad.
We're happy things.
Yeah. Buffalo's still killing it. Which I must say at this point now, I love picking defenses so much. Like, yet again, Buffalo defense is killing it, man. I love defense.
I love defenses. I love kickers. They're
Yes.
two like very fun positions, honestly.
I would say one other thing that we kind of didn't really talk about is some of the trades that went down prior weeks. I think, well, just mainly just the one between me and you for Damian Harris, for Jarvis Landry, and Tyler Lockett. These past week.
Hey, I am so glad that you got one good performance out of Tyler Lockett, though, man, because I was very happy to be able to trade him away. I just could not find a week that I wanted to start him confidently, and I see that you didn't as well because
Right.
he's on the bench. But dude,
Right.
that's just you've had Tyler Lockett in the past, I think,
Yeah.
so you understand his up and down nature.
Yes. Yes.
I am glad that he had a good performance. Makes the trade feel a little more equitable for both sides.
True. I mean, I thought of it as so. I just know Damian Harris he's one of the more consistent running backs you can kind of lean on. Like probably like your running back 2, like one of the more consistent ones. You can just like start him and forget him, and he's just performing every week. An easy like 80, 100 yards, touchdown type of guy, like, which is godsend in this type of craziness that we've had.
And may I speak candidly with you for a moment?
What you got?
Fantasy owner to fantasy owner.
Uh-oh.
I used lots of salesman tactics on you to get that done.
I'm sure.
I had no other offers, bro. I called you. I was like, oh, we got to do this right now. I got people calling me as we speak. I got offers. I sent out a bunch, and I got nothing in return. So I was like, I need to make this happen with Owen today. So I called you. I was like, I needed it.
It was the urgency that I needed to make a move happen, which I'm still at this point very happy with. I just had way too many running backs, and I think
you did, and your starting running backs right now are still very good. So you're not even in a bad spot. It just really helped me out in terms of my roster construction because I needed to move. I don't know if everybody got the window into this. We didn't talk about it last week, obviously, but I had Jarvis Landry on my IR. He was coming off of IR.
Mm-hmm.
I also had Lockett on my bench. So I had too many guys on my roster. I didn't want to drop anybody. So I needed to force a 2-for-1 somehow. I was trying to get it done with Tavo, trying to get it done with, I think, Christian, maybe Hunter, maybe Jared, tried to trade Josh. Nobody was biting. And so I was glad I was able to finally get it done with somebody that needed wide receivers and had some good running backs available. So
yeah,
I'm happy.
And I'm honestly happy. Like, I love Damian Harris a lot, but I'm willing to sacrifice him for some wide receiver depth. And with all this Odell news, like just recently, let me break this out.
Yeah, honestly, that is. Oh shit! Hold on. Play it again.
Well, I just played it, so.
All right, I have to turn the stream audio on. I can't hear it.
It was just a breaking news drop. Wide receiver Odell Beckham has been released by the Cleveland Browns. It is official.
Oh, really?
Yes. He will now be on waivers for any team to pick him up, including the contract. And if not by today, by tomorrow, Browns will have to hold on to, I guess, a somewhat restructured contract up until the moment he gets picked up by another team. So we'll see if the Raiders or the Saints make the move. If they pull trigger now, it's $8-9 million that they have to pay up for him, and the Browns will be, have been able to wash their hands free of Odell officially. Beyond tomorrow, then I'm not even sure how the contract works at that point, but we'll see. We'll see. It'd be crazy to see.
Regardless, he's going to be useless for fantasy, so I'm not overly concerned with Odell anymore, man. It's just you cannot trust the guy to perform. I think the whole thing with his dad is what kind of forced their hand in getting rid of Odell, right? Do you think so?
Yeah, I think it was almost a play out of Antonio Brown's book where you just kind of do
I think so, man.
Yeah, do something crazy and dramatic to get yourself kicked out of a team, just so another team who needs and is really hurting for talent comes and swipes you up.
Yeah.
Will probably work out for him.
Oh, and we got 2 more matchups to dive into real quick. We kind of got off track here talking about the news and the trades and all that. But, dude, it's a lot's been going on, so we got a lot to fill in.
A lot to recap.
Next matchup, though, we'll quickly summarize one of them, and then the second one we'll dive into a little more detail because it was closer. The first matchup, though, 7-1 Steve versus 6-1 Steve at the time versus 2-5 Christian. This one was a beating for all beatings.
Yeah.
74-90. Steve's team still very much the best team in the league. I think there's no question about that. Can you agree, Owen? Steve's team is far superior to all of the teams right now. If he doesn't have some sort of injury or shakeup in his roster, I don't know if there's going to be a team that slows him down in the regular season. We're just going to have to get lucky maybe in the playoffs to beat him. I don't know, but Steve's team is rolling right now. Christian's team is rolling downhill, not uphill. Christian's team is on an absolute free fall right now. 3 losses in a row. It's 2-6 now on the year. No, Christian's team is not as bad as they're performing. There's a lot of missed opportunities in terms of starts and sits, and just overall, Christian's having a tough year. And I know this is new territory for Christian, because in the years past, Christian has been a contender.
Right.
This being his first year in a while where he's getting clobbered, man, week in and week out. So hope to see him bounce it back a little bit, maybe flip the script, try to climb into playoffs for this back half of the year. But it's been a tough start for Christian, picking up another loss, his 3rd straight. Steve, another win, 4th win in a row. Last month he's been a winner. So I'm to 7-1, still firmly atop the league, 1 game ahead of myself. And that is a win against me that he had. So,
go ahead.
Got a guest speaker.
Guest speaker.
Hello.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. How was Denver?
It was great. We're live on the podcast right now. Do you have anything you want to say?
Oh no. Oh no. No. I am a physical form of the Denver Broncos organization.
That is so true, man. You are the Denver Broncos.
Football, bro. I can't fucking stand football.
Oh, it's so tough.
Why do my star players gotta get hurt or play like shit? And then Denver Broncos, why do we trade away our star player? In the middle of the season, after we went all in on Patrick Surtain when we could have had Justin Fields, had we fallen back 2 spots and gotten an additional first-round draft pick for 2022. Instead, we stood still and got PS2, and now we only got a second-round pick for next year.
No. You get our 2nd and 3rd round pick.
No, but I'm saying during the draft, Chicago was calling Denver to move back so they can move up for Justin Fields, and they were offering 2022 first-round draft pick. So we could have had an additional 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And we've been in full rebuild mode the whole time.
Yeah.
We half-assed it and said, no, we don't need to rebuild.
Yeah, you had a non-rebuild season for the first 5 weeks, and then it decided we got to rebuild.
I know, bro, and it's like, fuck, bro, anyways, that's life's going. Maybe I'm later, man. I have a few questions about work, but just call me later.
All right, sounds good.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
That sounds like a defeated man.
Yeah, doesn't sound like. I mean, I didn't know you can have a rebuild season in fantasy, but that sounds like what Diego's having right now somehow.
It is brutal, man. With Derrick Henry, IR, Russell Wilson, IR, has Mahomes now. He's not doing well.
It's just tough, man.
It's just tough, man. Very tough.
What can you even do? It's not what can you do? It's what didn't you do at this point? The season's basically in the rearview mirror, and because I can't think of what else you do unless you just become a waiver wire god. And
it sucks because the people on his team aren't performing well enough to try to get a good 2-for-1 trade done.
Yeah.
There's nobody on his team that I would want to pay up for. It's oh yeah, this guy is going off,
I mean, it's maybe a couple moves here and there, and you just got to manufacture a couple wins. But he's only in 8th place. He's a couple games behind. He just needs a good string of games, and he's right back in it. But it's gonna be
last
tough,
matchup though, Owen, for the recap here. Run us down, Jared and Diego, since we just talked about him.
Yeah,
it was a close matchup.
This was probably one of the games that would have sent him in the right direction, especially with the way his roster's
yeah,
going.
for both teams, this was a very pivotal matchup.
Definitely. And Jared coming up on top by a 5-point margin. It was very, very close. Now with the Jared at 4-4 right now, and Diego at 3-5. Kyler Murray not having the greatest game against Green Bay with that last second interception to lose the game at 9 points against Mahomes at 14.
Let me real quick interject here.
What you got?
If Diego would have started the Broncos defense, he would have won.
No.
Left the Broncos with 20 points on his bench.
Oh my God.
Dude, against the Washington football team too. Should have played him. That was a play.
Yeah, and then Dallas with that deck against Minnesota. It's like, that's tough, man. That is a tough one. I expected him to fully start that Denver squad.
No, as a Broncos fan, you kind of expect him to like if I have an opportunity to play the Rams defense, I play them.
Especially if it's a coin toss like that. It's like, hey, anything around like 50-50, like it could go either way. I'm starting Denver if I'm Diego. Too much faith in Dallas, I guess.
Didn't roll that way, I guess. Yeah.
Beyond that, the quarterback position, we got Dalvin Cook and Chuba Hubbard going up against Derrick Henry and Chase Edmonds. Of course, Derrick Henry going out with, he had 28 carries, 68 yards. Just after that fact, he suffered the biggest L of all time, losing Derrick Henry after that game against Indy. Which, man, that really does suck. That's the nail in the coffin for that guy. It really sucks. Beyond that, the wide receiver position, we have DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Evans for Jared going up against Justin Jefferson and Keenan Allen. Beyond that, Dallas Goedert against Kyle Pitts at the tight end position. Deontay Johnson and Marvin Jones going up against Tyler Boyd and Allen Robinson. Wow. Starting Allen Robinson. That's low of lows. And then the Cincy D against Dallas D. Jeez, man.
Wide receiver 62 on the year, Allen Robinson. 0 double-digit performances.
That is disgusting, man.
May as well have started fucking Tim Patrick, bro.
That's what I'm. Yeah, he's gonna have to either just be like a mastermind at the waiver wire or the biggest finesser before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Or else he's screwed, man. He's absolutely screwed. Looking at this roster, man, it's like maybe you can have a couple manufactured wins, but probably not. For Jared,
so
though.
that is. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say for Jared though, like, what are your expectations for him moving forward now at 4-4? I'd say he's right there, middle of the pack as far as our league goes. His squad.
This is actually a perfect segue, Owen. Jared's matchup next week. It's me. I am projected to win by 25. So I'm not really feeling like this week is the week Jared bounces back. I think I'm in a good position to get a victory here. I don't think Kyler's actually going to play. Doesn't practice Friday. Will be a game time decision. In my opinion, he's definitely not playing. Jared will be probably subbing in Derek Carr, which is a good start, actually. It's the Giants there. But I think overall I have the better team. He's got Hopkins, also questionable. He's got a hamstring injury. I'm looking right now. Doesn't say doesn't practice on Friday in the open portion. So I actually expect the Cardinals to sit probably both Kyler and Hopkins. Can see that happening. And I think it's just going to be a tough week for Jared this week, facing off with myself. So I'll just run us down the matchup real quick, Owen, since, like I said, it's a good segue into Jared's week for next week. So he's got Kyler, Dalvin Cook, Chuba Hubbard, Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Goddard, Melvin Gordon, Marvin Jones, Carlson, and the Saints D versus myself with Herbert, Eckler, Williams, Diggs, Lamb, Gesicki, Damian Harris, DJ Moore, Bass, and the Rams defense with no Derrick Henry. So I'm feeling good about that. Coming into the week, definitely was not. So a good start for me there. But the projection, like I said, 149 to 125. I think it's going to be a tough week for Jared. Hopefully it can go that way, though, and I can collect my 4th straight victory. But I just don't see this is the week that Jared bounces back.
Yeah, and with a 23-point projection for Kyler Murray.
That's a big gap.
It's going to be tough, especially against San Francisco, who likes to get to the ball.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think he'll play, so you're going to
Man.
lose some projected points there anyway.
That is tough. Beyond that, if it was, say, Kyler Murray was a healthy, play for this week, I know there's been kind of some questions against Josh Herbert and his performance the past couple of weeks.
Justin Herbert?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Justin Herbert. Are you still confident in him against Philly?
So my confidence with him has definitely waned a bit for the last few weeks. He's at 11, bye week 13. So it's just been kind of ugly. But he's got a tough stretch here. 9, 10, 11, 12 are all orange and red matchups. But in my opinion, he's one of the players, though it's not reflected in the last few weeks, I feel like he's one of the players that you just have to plug in. Because he's got that opportunity like he's had in the past to get 33, 48. But, man, overall, he's not been as good as I would have hoped. He only has 1 week in the 20s. So,
Oh, wow.
Got 15, 17, 33, 22, 48, 11, 13. Those are his weeks. So I'm not entirely confident, which is why I kind of want to make that trade for Stafford if possible. I have a feeling I won't be able to, unfortunately. But I am just going to keep rolling Herbert out there because I think I have enough flexibility with my roster to where I don't need him to necessarily have 30 on a week-to-week basis. But if he does have 30, it feels like a guaranteed win in a lot of ways, except for that 1 week I played you, of course.
Oh, man, I was just gonna say I forgot. I remember definitely feeling like I was gonna lose watching it all go down. Just craziness towards the end of the Monday night.
Next matchup though, Owen, we got yourself versus the Young Bucks. You're currently projected to lose by 10. I have a feeling there's some sort of you have everybody starting, Owen. So run us down your matchup. Tell us what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm very confused at the projections in this one. I don't quite seem to wrap my head around how I'm projected to lose because in every aspect, I feel like I have an advantage, except maybe in this first matchup in quarterbacks with Joe Burrow against Cleveland with
It's
Lamar
your tight
Jackson.
end. Your tight end's only projected 4.
That's fine. that's still a rare. I mean, it's a 5-point difference we're talking about here, but in projection, but Lamar Jackson in Minnesota, probably his best play. Our running backs, we're going to have Ezekiel Elliott and Najee Harris going up against. I don't think Saquon's going to play. And I'm pretty sure I just got the update. Well, he actually got cleared today, but they're expecting him because he's not practicing today. They're expecting him to not play.
Oh, I see. False positive. Returned to the team's practice facility on Friday. Did not practice and is expected to be ruled out.
So minus Saquon, he will have Joe Mixon there.
Tavius is not playing either, though. He's going to have to sub in Kenneth Gainwell or Carlos Hyde.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Latavius Murray out. So it's going to be Gainwell against the Chargers or Carlos Hyde against Buffalo.
Yeah, so your projection will actually end up being a lot closer than it is now. It's probably going to be in favor of you winning by like 3 points once he subs his guys out.
Wow, that is tough. That is really tough for him. He really had me. I mean, I made a trade in order to get into place where I, could get into a better projection for this week, from the whole grand scheme of things. But looking down the rest of the roster at wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, Robert Woods going against Marquise Brown? Marquise Brown, right? Yeah,
Marquise Breezy.
I mean, he can be hot or cold, and that combo between him and Lamar could go one way or the other. Could potentially save his matchup.
It's either worth 20 points or it's worth 40. So.
Yeah. We'll see how that one goes. I'm kind of worried about that. Uzama, I recently acquired.
Hey, real quick, Owen.
Go ahead.
Pull up Marquise Brown's picture.
Yo.
Doesn't he look like he could be someone's aunt?
In about
Do you have it up?
In like 30 years, I could see it for sure.
Definitely looks like someone's aunt.
Oh yeah. Definitely there for the Thanksgiving meal.
His skin is too damn smooth.
If his face is anything like his hands, that's probably why he's dropping it.
Yeah, he's got no fingerprints, huh?
No grip.
Just smooth fingers.
All kinds of just lotion, man. Like too much moisturizer. For sure.
Oh, and I forgot to ask you on my matchup, me or you, who's winning? Or me or Jared, who's winning?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with your squad.
Okay.
I
And
just
in yours, I'm also going to pick yourself as the winner.
Okay.
I think you'll beat Christian this week. Move to 5-4.
Man, yeah, we'll see. I'm just interested to see. To me, there's like a kind of there's gonna be a bit of a change of guard in my starter. So this is my opportunity to kind of see build some confidence in some of these guys. Like Myles Gaskin has an opportunity to come back and play actively on my flex after like holding on to for like the first 5 years of just complete garbage.
The first 5 years.
First 5 weeks. I mean. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna be hopefully I'll be able to watch that matchup with Christian. I'm not sure if he's gonna want to or not, but I'm down. We'll see.
Next matchup though, Owen, we got the Irvine Goats versus the Henry Babies. This one I think we can get into relatively quickly. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a match. Jonathan Taylor putting up nearly 40 on Thursday night.
Good Lord.
Nearly seals it. I know it's tough to declare something on Thursday night, but there's fewer things more convincing than going down 50 on the first evening. So
in a Colts-Jets game.
A Colts-Jets game. So it's just not looking good. Steve got even 10 out of Michael Carter. Had an okay performance out of the Jets, only 6 points. Probably wanted better. Should have started Nyheim Hines, though. Steve's got a lot of players in this Colts-Jets game for some reason. He's 7-1, so I respect it.
Wow.
Diego's side, just not seeing a lot that's going to be able to push him over the edge here. In terms of running backs, he'll need to sub in Mark Ingram.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of tells you what Diego's team is looking like this year. I don't even think it's worth diving into all that deeply. Diego projected to lose by about 30 points. So
Godly.
Looking at week 10, Steve probably moving to an easy 8-1.
What would you say is the overall point differential in this matchup then? Because we know Diego's going to lose, but by how much?
I think it'll be 40 points.
I'd say 50. It's going to be up there.
Cooper Kupp playing Tennessee, Nick Chubb against Cincinnati, Jamar Chase against Cleveland. You're looking at Steve's roster, it is green lights up and down. And so I just don't see a world where Diego's subpar roster with bad matchups is going to somehow eke out a victory, man. I just don't see it.
3-6 for the Henry Babies.
The Henry Babies.
He's going to have to change his name.
Oh, yeah. Next matchup, Owen. Again, not a real close one. Tavo 2-6 versus Josh 5-3. Early projections have it in favor of Josh by 30. That's not even including him subbing out Rodgers. He's going to be subbing in. Josh doesn't have another quarterback.
He probably don't. He could keep Aaron Rodgers in the starting position and still be just fine. Honestly,
realistically, he's got a good chance.
It's a 30.
So you're looking at Tavo's team. He's got Gibson out, Ricky Seals-Jones out, Calvin Ridley out. I'm going to need to sub in some new players there. Probably going to sub out the Chiefs. Man, if Tavo doesn't adjust his roster this week, what are we thinking with this?
I don't know.
He goes another week without fixing his roster. It's an easy plug-in to do Patriots versus Panthers over Chiefs at Green Bay, I think. Even with – I wouldn't play the Chiefs defense, man. They're horrible. They're so bad. Right?
Almost not unrosterable.
Yeah, dude. Their defense 27. Drop them.
Yeah, it's not good. Very not good.
So this one, even if Tavo fixes his roster, I don't think it'll be enough to beat Josh. None.
Yeah, I mean he does have 1, 2, 3 positions to go ahead and adjust, which could get him in a better position, but can Josh win this game without a quarterback? Probably just fine. Probably just fine.
I just really need Tavo to continue to try, man. Don't care if you're losing. Take him. We just need you to try. You can't be giving out free wins to people in this league. Makes one person happy, but it makes 9 people irritated. So
It was also
because if you don't care.
it's part of the reason why he was in conversation not too long ago about getting forced out of the league in total.
Yeah, and I don't want to force Tav out of the league. He's my friend. But I got a business to run here, man. I'm the commissioner. Oh, and the co-commissioner. We can't just be a laughing stock of a league with somebody that's putting in half-ass effort in week 9.
It's tough,
You know?
man. It makes it's a
mean,
difficult spot.
I love having Tavo in the league, but you got to try, bro.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't know. Well, I'll talk to him. I'm sure I'll see him today.
I'll talk to him.
That's rough. Yeah,
Last
one
matchup,
more.
Owen. This one a little more competitive, exciting to dive into a bit. We got the Zach's fantasy team versus the Green Bowl Packers. Early projections have it in favor of Hunter by just 4. This one is a close matchup. 4-4 team versus a 3-5 team. I believe if Hunter wins this matchup, it could potentially leapfrog him into playoffs, potentially knock Zach out. Don't really know how that works exactly, but I know it will be a good matchup. Quarterbacks, we got Josh Allen versus Matt Stafford. I want to say Josh Allen is QB3, yep, and then Stafford is QB2.
Wow.
A really good matchup there. We got Kamara versus Elijah Mitchell. Cordero Patterson versus Josh Jacobs.
Interesting.
I think this one is actually a very good running back matchup.
Yeah.
Kamara's not been the world beater he was last year, still running back 7, but a little more average, I guess, in terms of like a top tier running back. So still doing well, but could have a down week potentially. Who knows? In the in the
Go
wide
ahead.
receiver spot, we got AJ Brown versus Devontae Adams, Emmanuel Sanders versus Brandon Cooks. With Adams this week, it's a little bit dicey in that he's not going to have Rodgers. Still should command enough of a target share to, I think, have a good performance against Kansas City. They suck. It's hard to not throw completed passes to Devontae, I think. And yeah, I think this will be a pretty good one. Tight end spot, we got Kelsey versus Henry. Kelsey, Owen, coming off a bad week last week. Henry as well. But if I'm counting on anybody to bounce back, it would be Travis Kelsey over Henry.
Yes.
I would give the edge to Zach there, or Hunter, I'm sorry. And then in the flexes, we got Jerry Jeudy and Jeremy McNichols. What is your take, Owen, on the McNichols versus Adrian Peterson situation?
I think McNichols gets the majority of the carries and touches there. I think they're going to kind of rely on him and have AP as kind of a change of pace back, just kind of give.
See, I'm kind of viewing it the other way.
I think McNichols knows this line. He knows the play calling. AP can go in there and run. He knows how to run his zone. Like, he knows how to balance it out. He knows how to do that. He knows how to read a line. But McNichols he's been there, done that. He's got the familiarity with Tannehill already. He's probably going to see some passing options. I think especially with the Rams, they're probably not going to just throw AP.
Well, I think AP is still in the practice squad, so I don't think he's an option at all this week.
Okay.
But in my when I made this pickup, right, I looked at McNichols. I thought about picking him up, but this is my kind of thought process on it. Throughout the first 8 weeks, right, he's the backup to Derrick Henry. Obviously, you're not going to get a lot of running work, but he's been a pass catcher. He's 5'9", so he's not a big build. He's not really, I don't think, what the Titans tried to do in the running game. I think he'll still be the third down option, and I see Adrian Peterson stepping in and being the running back.
It's just tough to
soon
see
as next week.
It's tough to see what we've seen with AP the past couple teams that he's been in, especially with Detroit. Like, he was supposed to be that guy. Obviously, the offensive
he had
line.
7 touchdowns last year.
He did, and he was running pretty decently. I think there's got to be some limitations here. I think that the offensive line's going to open things up. The passing game's going to hopefully open things up. I just don't know if he can be the 15 carries. I think is still kind of out of expectations, even 2-3 weeks from now.
If that works out, though, where AP all of a sudden is in the running back 2 conversation,
yeah,
then I feel like a genius for picking him up before he was rostered on a team.
That could really work out.
I picked him up in all my leagues. I went in there and I said, smash, smash, smash the button. I don't care if it doesn't work out. If I'm able to pick him up before he hits waivers and I have to put in a bid on him, I'm in.
Yeah, but it was a very smart play. Like, I mean, took waivers out of it completely because somebody was going to pick him up.
Oh, for sure. And I don't really have the fab to be able to get in a bidding war right now. The flexes in this one, Owen: Jerry Jeudy versus McNichols, Pittman versus Cortland Sutton. So give me a projection in this one. Like I said earlier, Hunter projected to win by just 4 points. So going to be a close matchup. What do you think is the outcome?
Man.
Kind of a toss-up, huh?
This is going to be the matchup to watch for sure because Zach has the potential to go above 500 on the season despite all the injuries that he's gone through, finally bouncing back. Hunter, I think it's just the unlucky factor that's going to do him in this one. I think he's just been too unlucky this year, and I think it's going to continue to trend that way. I like the Elijah Mitchell and Josh Jacobs, but the Giants are not a pushover rush defense at all by any means. And, man, I think Kamara just knows how to beat Atlanta. It's in their blood at this point now. But the biggest thing I'm worried about for Zach's squad is another goose from Emmanuel Sanders. But Cole Beasley is supposed to be out, so I imagine he's supposed to get some more touches.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get goosed. I think he'll probably have a good performance, not great.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I think I would give this one to Hunter. But the game changer here for me is the performance of Cordell Patterson, which is kind of a weird thing to say in 2021, right?
Right.
But he has been phenomenal all year long. If he could have a performance where he goes over 100 total yards and gets a touchdown, he's locked in as a 20-point play. So last week he didn't have a lot of carries, only 9, and then only 37 receiving yards, which is his third lowest on the season.
Mm-hmm.
The other games were kind of like outliers. He had 13 yards, 1 yard. But then outside of that, he's been over 50 every week, more than 5 catches pretty much every week. So I think that's kind of, if you're looking at a game-changing fantasy piece right there, I think Cordell Patterson is the one that could give Zach the victory. If you're looking at kind of mid-range to good performances out of all the players, I think Hunter's team has the best opportunity of getting that done.
One thing I want to look into real quick is Devontae Adams and the chemistry that he has with what's his name, Jordan Love.
Yeah,
I have no idea what to expect from that guy. Like I
don't either, but I said this a bit ago. I don't feel like there's a bad quarterback option for Devontae Adams. Like you could throw it to him almost anywhere and he'll make the catch, you know?
I think you gotta just have that. Aaron Rodgers and him have a really fine chemistry, the same way like him, like Tom Brady has with his receivers. Like they are very like timing based.
Of course,
routes.
I mean it's an MVP caliber quarterback versus a backup, so it will have some sort of drop off. Just depends on how much. But and if you look at Devontae's schedule, he is going to light it up on the second half of the year. He's got one red matchup from here on out.
Really?
It's Baltimore, and they're not even that good, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good. He is
very good. Very proud to be a fellow alumni. I shared a lot of classes with him, got him some good grades in all of his classes. We would, study together in the library. So I'm glad to see he's doing well.
Yes, old college boys.
Old college friends, me and Devontae. Just play catch out in the quad.
Man, it is awesome to see him be that man now. Like, right? I mean, who else is better?
I taught him this technique where you can do a little toe drag on the sidelines, and I see that he's almost mastered it.
Almost, not quite the master.
Yeah. No, not yet.
Still a couple lessons.
But Owen, is there anything else you wanted to dive into? We got a couple minutes left on the pod, almost at a full hour, so we did a great job here in terms of time management. Anything else you wanted to say before we kind of wrap it up?
Not much else besides that. I know that we got, like I said, the trade deadline coming up here, so nobody's quite out of it.
basically 3 full weeks of trade deadline left.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of moves can happen. A lot can happen, and there's a lot of potential this week, as far as the middle ground, and how that's going to shake up. It seems like the top and bottom ends of the spectrum are probably going to most likely stay the same. So
There's a lot of room in the middle, though.
A lot of room for movement in the playoff picture as far as down the road. Yes, we're still got some time, but it's these weeks. You know, I think everyone knows what the squad is pretty much for the most part is going to look like, and a lot of guys are coming back off injuries as well. So guys are getting healthier. Moves are soon to be made. A lot could still happen. Don't count yourself out. You can still get out of the toilet bowl bracket. That's the goal.
Tavo, if you're watching this, set your damn roster.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's all I ask.
Beyond that, just keep up with the news and make your moves, man. That's all you can do.
Agreed. Well, Owen, good episode. If you want to, I guess, hit your button, get us out of here.
Wrong button. There we go. Yeah, man. Another great episode. I'll definitely be on this next week. We'll make it happen for sure. But another great podcast, man.
Welcome to the ESFFL
Bye, everybody.
podcast.
Good luck on your Week 9 matchups, except for you, Jared.
Goodbye.
Yeah, nice episode, Owen.